Christian first, husband second, DJ third. I am the only boy of 4, so I've been through that life. Shoot, what else? Oh yeah, so I mentioned I'm a DJ, and I travel doing gospel, hip hop, and R&B at various events. So here's my deal. I hate weddings, if I'm just being real, because you gotta deal with so many people. Like you gotta put up with so much, as opposed to like, sorry, I'm tying my shoes. As opposed to like house parties, or like when I do stuff for Christian fraternities, or you know, stuff like that, like smaller intimate parties. Like they kind of just leave it at my will, especially when I do like churches, like youth group events or whatever. They just leave it to my free will. Like, hey bro, just turn it up. Like I did a show for Adidas this past weekend. It was a 7-on-7 football tournament, and they didn't ask me anything. They have no requests, no playlist, no song that they wanted me to play at a certain time. It was like, hey bro, you here for 4 hours, it's your set, do what you gotta do. And I love those, because that's when I get to experiment and kind of have fun with what I do. And then I feel like that's the time where I really experience fulfilling the mission that I have with DJing, which is obviously to reach people. At weddings, it's not as common that I get to interact with people, because I'm usually just doing my set and making sure that I'm focused on doing what the people want, being the people that pay me. Like the bride gets her song walking out, you know what I'm saying, if I'm doing an actual wedding part. But for the reception, when they're introduced, or you know, their first dance at the reception, like I'm so focused on doing that stuff that I don't have a lot of interaction. And usually I'm off in a booth somewhere away from the general audience. But for example, in this, you know, the 7-on-7 tournament, you know, I experienced little kids coming up and asking me, or just people in general coming up and asking me like, yo, who was that played that song or whatever. And I love those opportunities. Like that's what I do it for. So. Being married is actually pretty cool, man. I love my wife. Like she's awesome. You know, she's a great support system, and there's not too many women that can kind of get down with what you do, or what I do rather. So, you know, finding that woman was an extreme blessing. And not just that, you know, she's a woman that works, you know, and that's another thing that's kind of hard to find. And then what makes it even harder to imagine our relationship is that we were high school sweethearts. So we met each other when we were 14. So unless you're like Reach Records or something, most people who are in like the gospel hip hop industry have a regular 9 to 5, and I'm no different. I work for a church out here where I live in Denton, Texas, called Denton Bible Church, under Pastor Tommy Nelson, which is a little bit weird considering that I'm a member at the Village Church underneath Pastor, what's my pastor's name? Pastor Matt Chandler. I am a print shop manager for Denton Bible Church. I don't think I'm going anywhere anytime soon. It's a great flexible job. That's why I work here. And I deal with that adversity, I guess, of working at one church and being a member at the other, because this church is awesome and they allow me to make my own schedule.
Don't be mad at me. I don't care so much from the other side of the track. So what, the world don't think we